Next up at UFC 317, we have Brandon Royval taking on Joshua Van in a somewhat short notice matchup. This was put together about, I don't know, a month ago or so. Brandon Royval, 17-7 in his career. He's 4-1 in his last 5. He's on that 2-fight win streak. He's taking on Joshua Van, 14-4 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He is on a 4-fight win streak. I mentioned this is a newer fight. Joshua Van stepped up on short notice literally right after he beat Bruno Silva. We found out, and that was at UFC 316, we found out that Manel Kopp is gone. Royval needs a new opponent. Josh Van steps in. Josh Van opened at a minus 260 favorite. When that was announced, I instantly was like, dude, that's crazy. Brandon Royval is going to win this fight. Brandon Royval has more experience. Brandon Royval is very exciting. He can wrestle. He can strike. He's a cardio demon. Brandon Royval can do all the things. And while Josh Van is very good, he's still just 23 years old. And the best fighter he fought was Charles Johnson, who knocked him out. So I immediately went ahead and bet on Brandon Royval. By the time I got to it, he was a minus 120 favorite. But those odds have swung again. They went from Royval as a huge dog to Royval as a favorite, now to Royval as a slight dog. And it's just a lot of love coming in on Joshua Van. And his striking is very good. He can be aggressive. He's got good volume. I'm not going to say he's got a ton of power. He did just finish Bruno Silva, but that was just an accumulation of volume more so than just one punch, bang, headshot dead. He does a really good job finding things in scrambles. His takedown defense is great. He keeps composed. He doesn't panic. For a 23-year-old, he's definitely heading in the right direction. But again, he was knocked out by Charles Johnson. And I'm not saying that to disparage Charles Johnson. I'm saying that because this is a kid.
Why do you hate Charles so much?
I don't at all. I'm saying that he was knocked out by the best fighter he has ever fought, and now he's fighting.
Is this back to the you hating black people?
And now he's fighting. None of that is true, and you can't respond without it. He got knocked out when he fought the best fighter he had ever fought at that point in his career. And now here he is again fighting the best fighter he has fought so far in his career. Brandon Royval has fought the best people on planet Earth in this weight class. He fought for a title. He has beaten some of the best in this division. This guy is incredible. He's good everywhere. He can do all the things. And then Jacob reminded me after I placed my bet, this dude had to pull out of his fight because he couldn't see, he couldn't talk, he's thrown up everywhere. He had like the worst concussion in the world, and now he's talking about changing weight classes. So I have a little bit of buyer's remorse on my bet. But if Brandon is healthy and he's showing up to fight because he truly can fight and he's not just doing it to do it, then Brandon wins this fight. I just think he's the better fighter everywhere. What do you think, Jacob?
Brandon Royval is not a good boxer. He just is not a good boxer. He gets hit. He throws looping stuff. He's got a jab that he can kind of fire in there, but overall he's just not a good boxer. Joshua Van's going to be the better boxer. It's just whether Joshua Van can turn this into a boxing match, or is this going to be a typical Royval switch stances, he's not at Factory X anymore, but the old Factory X style, the switch stances, the in, the out, the leg kicks. Whoever's able to control the calf kicks early and the octagon control early is going to win this fight, and it feels like it's going to be Joshua Van. He's probably going to be outside the kicks. And once you get inside Brandon Royval, he's a pretty average fighter. And typically, over 5 rounds, he can dance on the outside, he can go left, he can go right, and he can land enough volume and then start to take over in the later rounds to squeak out these 5-round decisions that he's been winning if he's not finding like a weird knee or a submission inside where, the scrambling ability of Brandon Royval is always going to be live. Always going to be live. If he gets something crazy in this fight against Joshua Van, I'm not going to be crazy surprised. But Joshua Van is so good at getting inside of people and forcing boxing. And when he forces the boxing, he fucking can beat pretty much anybody. Obviously, Charles Johnson is also a very good boxer, and that fight was back and forth going in that 3rd round, and Charles was able to land that shot. But Joshua Van can easily outbox Brandon Royval. He's just got to get inside the boxing, which I think he's able to. And the other thing that Royval excels at and that's been winning him fights is that cardio, is that pace, is that volume. In 3 rounds, that's all condensed, and you're not going to out-volume a guy like Joshua Van in 3 rounds. I mean, just he can match the energy that Brandon Royval is going to bring in the fight. So without the kicks to keep at space, if Joshua Van hangs out and is getting kicked, you see him eating the leg kicks and all that stuff, then it's going to look like a Brandon Royval typical win. But it just feels like Joshua Van knows that's coming. He's very good at getting inside with the footwork, cutting off the cage, crowding you, and then once he crowds you, he works that volume. And Brandon Royval, he gets hit a lot. He's a tough dude, but as Angel mentioned, I think we'll see if that chin is going to have any issues in this fight, because he's going to get hit a few times against Joshua Van, who typically is a decision fighter, but could find a late finish or something crazy here. I'm going Joshua Van. He's the better boxer, and he's going to turn this into a boxing match. And if he does, he's going to win pretty easily.
Are you factoring in that concussion at all, or that was just information you were throwing out there?
No,
like
we might see Royval get chin kind of for the first time, but I mean, he was dropped by Matt Schnell. I mean, and Matt Schnell does have good boxing, but Brandon Royval does not have very good boxing at all.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a really fun fight. I am looking forward to this fight. Like I said, I do have buyer's remorse on that bet. I placed it instantly. Just my gut reaction was like, dude, Brandon Royval is miles ahead here. He's just on a different level. And now, as we're getting closer and closer, I'm like, oh God, I wish it was a half a unit, not a full unit. Like I'm regretting it. I just straight up regret it.
He honestly should let Joshua Van kind of crash into him. I mean, if Joshua Van backs him up against the fence, Royval's got to grab this dude. I mean, you can't. He's going to corner you in boxing. He's going to have to grab and try to initiate, jump on the back or something, initiate scrambles. I think Brandon Royval is going to look a little bit desperate in there. And if he finds it, he finds it. I mean, he's a very crafty dude everywhere. He's a tall, lengthy guy, especially in the grappling. He's going to look big in there against Joshua Van. But Joshua Van, he's pretty good at getting inside and making people box him.
Yeah, this would be a really fun fight. I'm looking forward to it. $8,000 in DraftKings Fantasy, $8,200. I honestly don't know if either one are worth it because it is going to be mostly striking. Joshua Van does score pretty well because of the volume. So if you're on that side, you may get a well-priced fight here, but we're not going to see a ton of grappling, certainly not from the Josh side. And I don't see Brandon Royval getting the takedowns. Like Jacob said, he might crash in or allow Josh to crash in to create some weird scramble, and then it could end up on the ground there. But we may end up with a whole bunch of striking.
Here we go.
What?
Earlier, I did Tracy Cortez, third round, plus 2,600. I put, what's the bet? Where'd it go? I put 70 to win $1,800 on Tracy Cortez to win the third round. I'm going Joshua Van round 2 plus 900 right now. I'm going to put $50 on that to win $450 round 2 Joshua Van.
Okay, good luck. How is that only to win 450? Those odds should be way wider than that.
It's plus 900.
I know, but
I guess you don't understand how odds value work. Maybe you can explain to me again what you mean.
I would say there's more of a chance of Nico Price winning than Josh finishing Royval in the second round. And Nico Price is a plus 900 dog. Bing bong. Super chat, $1.99 from Jason GT. Are you Jacob Busey?
That's what somebody, I don't know if you saw that picture I was holding up, but somebody said I look like this guy, and it's like what are we doing here?
Who is that? I mean, I get it. Who is that? I'm not going to get an answer. Who the fuck is that? Is that Jacob Busey?
It's not fucking Jacob Busey.
Who is it?
I don't know, Angelo. I'm not Columbo.